Hey guys, so this is Heather Gorsuch. We are on Cent Circle Fundraising Part 2, and this is going to be the part that I'm talking about planning a little bit and keeping it really organized when the orders start coming in, okay? So, you remember the order form that we gave each kid, and let me explain why I did it this way. So one order form is for one student. One student has the option of selling to 15 different people. This is 15 different customers that can fill theirs out. As they came in, I would number the form. Like this is form number 1. Another piece of paper would be form number 2. There would not be duplicate numbers on any order form. And then I would also, depending on what homeroom teacher they were, I would verify that they put that on here or the grade level or whatever. For this particular fundraiser that I did, instead of homerooms, it was divided up into platoons. So I would put like a B for Bravo and then keep track of the form with the student's name. As the order forms came in, and I'm going to try to flip this around, it's going to be kind of a mess. I'm probably going to make you dizzy flipping my phone around. So as this came in, I actually created an Excel spreadsheet, and I would duplicate the exact order what it came in, because if anything ever happens to this form, I now have an electronic record of every single order form that came through. If they do the fundraiser again next year, I know exactly how many they sold of Weathered Leather or By the Sea, or I'll see that Cinnamon Vanilla necessarily didn't do so good, and maybe we won't put that fragrance on next year. So it's just collecting data, and it's got record of any type of order that came through. Especially if you're doing this during an incentive trip period, you want to have records of this fundraiser and that it was legit, because that could be a lot of trip points, right? So you just need to make sure you're keeping track, and keeping this and good records of this shows that yes, you did a legitimate fundraiser. It was a lot of orders. It shows the people that ordered, and it's just getting keeping good records for you as well. So let me flip this around and I'll show you the spreadsheet that I did. I hope you can see this. So the first column has got the child's name. I've made it smaller so you couldn't read their names. Column B is what homeroom they are, or maybe their teacher or classroom. This is the platoons. Here it shows the order form number, and customer number coordinates with the lines. Remember how I told you this would be form 1, customer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it is. So you're going to have duplicates. So like right here, this order form number 10, she had all of these 8 different people that bought. So I know that she sold 8 to 8 different customers, right? And I know exactly what fragrances she bought, and it totals up and shows you how many 6-packs she sold total, or he. So that's just able to keep good records of that on what they're purchasing. And this was a great way for me to see who my top seller was and get their prize together, and then pre-make these for each customer. So like that one student right here sold to 8 customers. That means I need to make sure I have 8 of my customer appreciation bags together. And this helped me tally that. So I would have a spreadsheet duplicating this. And then I would have a spreadsheet for, I got it from the teacher actually, which you could do, or the coach or whoever you're doing it, a spreadsheet with the students' names if they can share it with you. And then I would put how many they sold, 6-packs they sold total, but then sometimes one customer would buy more than one 6-pack. So it could be 10 orders, 10 6-packs ordered, but only 8 customers, right? So I didn't want that to skew my numbers, because I would need to only make 8 of these, not 10, right? If the customer bought 2 6-packs. So it just helped me keep records ahead of time where I knew I could make these up. And this has the product list, those fundraiser thank you cards. I put a little flyer in here, a scent sample, the join special for $49 just because it's going on this month. And I did do a washer with sample in mine. And the little clear bags from Hobby Lobby, blue curling ribbon because the school's color is blue, and just tied them up. And I had these pre-sorted in our little plastic bags from Scentsy. I went through and counted, okay, the platoon had 90 customers buy. So I wrote down 90 customers on a Post-it note and just counted out 90 of these and stuck them in a bag. and waited for the order to come in. These were all ready to go, right? And you'll see how these come into play when we do part 3 on the disbursement of the actual items, sorting, packing, and all that. That's kind of fun. But having this done in advance really speeds up the process on getting the stuff packed up for each customer, bundled for the seller, and get it back. So the sooner you can get this done while you're waiting on your order, the better, okay? Let's see here. Oh, as the order forms came in, so I will tell you, if there was no money that came in the order forms, I would write on there, no money received. If one person had ordered, let's say on this, I'm just gonna write Joe Smith just on the top line. And let's just say they got 6 cinnamon vanilla. So as the orders came in here, $20, in my red pen, I would use red pen on every order form because then I knew I wrote it. I would put a check mark and write how they paid. I would look at the front of their envelope and say, oh, it was cash. And so I would just make a note, cash, and do a little check. And then this is what I do, is I would draw an X on the rest of the order form, because that told me when I put this in my system, this was the only order on this order form and nothing could be added later. And this is really for people if you're planning on giving this back to the student or not. I didn't give back the original order form. I'll show you what I did because I wanted to keep them for my records. And they really need a copy, right? Some sort, so they know who's getting what. But I did mine a little different this year, and I think I found a system that works for me. So if I made labels. So if you don't make labels and you want to keep this, you need to make a Xerox copy of this and then attach it in the bag that you're giving back to the seller, right? So it could be a little bit more work there, but I never want someone coming back and adding to my order form after it's done. So the X marks the spot, tells me there was nothing else on here, and I'm the one that checked it and I initialed off on it. So that covers the order forms. What else do I need as far as planning for you guys? That might be it. The spreadsheets as it's coming in, and preparing and planning and having these made in advance. And then we'll get to the organization side. Let me go take you into the other room. And hopefully I can do this while holding the phone at the same time. It was very difficult. We were trying to do it before and I wasn't successful at it. So, but I want to show you while I have it all spread out, and I'm really doing this because what better way to learn, right? Than hands-on and seeing it in person. So hang tight and I'll start video 3 really soon so you can see the sorting and the packaging for each student and my prep work. Oh, you know what? Let me show you this before we go. So in preparation, I bought these weird size labels. Oh, these are my weird ones. I used a different one. The 4x2, the big name tag size, but the ones I bought at Fry's, they were actually a little bit smaller than this, but I just had them left over. And I actually typed up a label that said like B for Bravo, or would have the homeroom teacher's name, or the platoon, it would have a B. And then I would put the form number. So I would put form number 1-1 on underneath the homeroom. So that classifies and tells me that this label is for platoon B, order form number 1, customer 1, and it would have the seller's name, so that would be the student's name, and it would have the buyer. So I would type up the information, the buyer's name and phone number. And some of these kids even put their addresses, right, instead of their phone numbers because they lived in their neighborhood. Whatever information the student had put here, I typed up on the order form. Now, something I did for my Surprise Me pack, right here, the yellow, I made the Surprise Me pack all the same for every single one. That way there was no confusion and I didn't have to like have all extras or come up with different. So I had the same 6 scent circles for the Surprise Me packs. And so it was very simple trying to pick those fragrances really quick. So on the bottom of the label, it had the seller, the buyer, and then I gave everything codes and how many they go in each bag. So it would have 6 or 12 depending on what they bought. It would be like 1 AR, 1 BRV, 1 COL for coconut lemongrass, 1 MDW for My Dear Watson, or 2 SKC for Sunkissed Citrus. So each bag, each customer had their own 2x4 label that goes on the front of the bag. So I was really just recreating this on a label that's telling the kid, okay, this bag belongs to this student. He sold to this person. Here's the contents. And giving me a reference number back to the order form, which there was a couple of mistakes that was made when I was typing those labels. It had like 7 scent circles on there instead of 6. So my form number referenced me back to that platoon. So I went and pulled Bravo, form number 34, line 2, and saw, oh, it's only 1 Clean Breeze, not 2. It's just setting up a system that works where you can track it faster in case there's ever questions later or you need to look something up faster, right? It's all about time and just being efficient. Okay, so those labels will go on the front of each person's bag that bought scent circles, okay? All right, now I'm really stopping and I'll get you in there so you can see everything firsthand.